From seagulls stealing golf balls to pros getting upstaged by flying hats, these are the 10 funniest, most unexpected moments ever caught on a golf course. Sorry to interrupt. If you want to help me build this channel so I can create more content, click that subscribe button and like this video. Number 10. The Seagull at the 1998 Players' Championship. At the 1998 Players' Championship at TPC Sawgrass, golf fans witnessed one of the sport's funniest and most bizarre moments. Brad Fable had just landed his tee shot safely on the infamous 17th Island green when a cautious seagull decided to investigate. In full view of the crowd and cameras, the bird pecked at Fable's golf ball, picked it up in its beak, and flew off. However, it dropped the ball straight into the surrounding water. Laughter erupted from the spectators as officials were called in to make a ruling. Fortunately, under the rules of golf, an animal is considered an outside influence. Since the ball was moved while at rest, Fable was allowed to replace it with no penalty. Number 9. Jean van der Veldes Barefoot Wade, 1999 British Open, Carnoustie. July 18, 1999, at Carnoustie Golf Links in Scotland, witnessed perhaps the most tragicomic moment in major championship history. French golfer Jean van der Velde needed only a double bogey 6 on the final hole to secure his first major championship. What unfolded instead was a cascade of increasingly poor decisions and bad luck that had viewers alternating between laughter and second-hand embarrassment. After 2 wayward shots, found van der Velde in the rough and then in a water hazard known as the Barry Burn, the Frenchman made an unforgettable decision to remove his shoes and socks, roll up his pants, and wade into the water to assess whether he could play the partially submerged ball. The image of a major championship contender standing barefoot in knee-deep water, contemplating his options while holding his shoes, became instantly iconic. The contrast between van der Velde's desperate improvisation and the stoic British commentators attempting to make sense of what they were witnessing made the moment truly comedic. After considerable deliberation and likely realizing the absurdity of his position, van der Velde took a drop. He then proceeded to find a bunker before finally finishing with a triple bogey 7, forcing a playoff that he would ultimately lose to Paul Rory. The meltdown was so dramatic and unexpected that it transcended typical sporting disasters to become something more akin to performance art. Van der Velde himself has shown remarkable grace about the incident in subsequent years, acknowledging the inherent comedy in his misfortune and even returning to the Barry Burn for humorous photo opportunities. His barefoot wade remains a perfect example of just how golf's precision and decorum can occasionally dissolve into pure slapstick. Number 8. The Caddy races at the 16th hole, Phoenix Open, TPC Scottsdale, 1997 to 2013. For many years, the 16th hole at TPC Scottsdale during the Phoenix Open wasn't just known as the loudest hole in golf. It was also home to one of the game's funniest traditions, the Caddy races. This tradition started naturally in the late 1990s and became a fan favorite in the early 2000s. After players hit their tee shots on the par 3 16th, a hole surrounded by massive, cheering crowds like a stadium, their caddies would suddenly break into a full sprint, racing each other from the tee to the green. The first one to reach the green was welcomed with loud cheers, while the others were playfully booed by the crowd, who were often loud and full of energy. What made it even more entertaining was seeing typically calm, professional caddies, many of them older and carrying 40-pound golf bags, transform into competitive sprinters. Some trained ahead of time, while others added fun with silly starting poses or celebration dances. Even players got involved too, cheering or jokingly distracting their rivals' caddies. One of the most memorable races occurred in 2013, when brothers Brent and Kip Henley went head-to-head in a hilarious dash caught on video. Sadly, the races were officially discontinued that year due to safety concerns. Still, fans fondly remember the energy, humor, and sense of fun these races brought to the sport. Number 7. Miguel Angel Jimenez's warm-up routine, 2014 Open Championship, Royal Liverpool. Golf has had its fair share of eccentric personalities, but few are as memorable as Miguel Angel Jimenez, the cigar-smoking, ponytailed Spaniard whose warm-up routine became legendary. While not tied to a single event, this quirky spectacle reached peak internet fame during the 2014 Open Championship at Royal Liverpool on July 17th. Before his opening round, ESPN cameras captured the then 50-year-old Jimenez on the practice range, engaging in what can only be described as one of the most unorthodox warm-ups in sports history. With a cigar clenched between his teeth, he performed a series of unconventional stretches that looked like a mix between Tai Chi and something invented after a few glasses of his favorite Rioja wine. His warm-up was unlike anything you'd expect on a professional golf course. Wide hip circles, awkward knee bends, and those unforgettable arm windmills, all performed with the kind of seriousness usually reserved for championship puts. Miguel Angel Jimenez wasn't just preparing to play, he was putting on a show. While younger players stuck to their conventional routines, Jimenez's animated display turned heads and raised eyebrows, but it was all part of his charm. Though he delivered a solid performance that weekend, it wasn't the leaderboard that had people talking, it was the warm-up. Clips of the routine exploded online. Memes, parodies, and remix videos spread like wildfire. What started as a quirky personal ritual became one of golf's most beloved viral sensations. Proof that sometimes the biggest moments in sport don't happen during the game, but just before it begins. And if you want to be here just before our next video begins, hit that subscribe button. Thanks. Number 6. Matias Schwabs' ball lands in a moving cart at the Players 2023. During the first round of the Players Championship 2023 at TPC Sawgrass, Austrian golfer Matias Schwab had one of the most unexpected moments in golf. On the par 5 second hole, his approach shot bounced off the cart path and, against all odds, landed in the back of a moving Sky Sports golf cart that was filming his group. The crew didn't notice until a spectator shouted, prompting them to stop and discover Schwab's ball tucked inside the cart. A rules official stepped in and confirmed that Schwab was entitled to a free relief. He marked the spot beneath the cart, removed the ball, and dropped it. In an almost magical moment, the ball stopped exactly where it landed, even after bouncing several times on the sloped concrete. After receiving further relief onto the nearby grass, Schwab hit a smooth pitch shot and went on to save par. Number 5. Rory McIlroy's shot lands in spectators' laps. During the 2023 DP World Tour Championship in Dubai, an amusing incident unfolded when Rory McIlroy's tee shot on the par 3 13th hole took an unexpected turn and landed right in the lap of a seated spectator. The woman, completely unfazed by the ball landing between her legs, stayed in her seat as laughter rippled through the surrounding crowd. McIlroy, initially surprised, walked over to the scene and jokingly acted as if he was about to play the ball from her lap, prompting even more chuckles from the spectators. He then called out for a referee, adding to the light-hearted atmosphere. When the official arrived, it was determined that McIlroy was entitled to a free drop, given the position of the ball in relation to the fan. With a smile, McIlroy told the woman she could stand up as she handed him the ball, drawing cheers from the crowd as she returned to her seat. The entire interaction was a perfect example of McIlroy's ability to keep things fun and engaging, even when faced with an unexpected situation. The moment quickly went viral online, with clips circulating on social media showing the more playful side of professional golf. McIlroy's quick wit and the spectators' calm response made it one of the most entertaining and memorable moments of the tournament. Number 4. Phil Mickelson's interruption of Tiger Woods' announcement, 2002 Tour Championship. In the 2002 Tour Championship at East Lake Golf Club, a humorous moment unfolded between golf legends Phil Mickelson and Tiger Woods. As the announcer lifted Woods' impressive achievements, including his 34 PGA Tour victories and wins at the 2002 Masters, US Open, Bay Hill Invitational, Buick Open, and the American Express World Golf Championship, Mickelson interjected with a playful, all right, we know." His light-hearted remarks sparked laughter from both Woods and the audience, showcasing the camaraderie and mutual respect shared between the two competitors. Number 3. Iguana attempts to eat a golf ball. 2014 Puerto Rico Open. During the final round of the 2014 Puerto Rico Open at Cocoa Beach Golf Course, golfer Andrew Lupe experienced an unexpected and amusing interruption on the 16th green. Just as he prepared to putt, a curious iguana wandered onto the green and made its way towards his golf ball. Mistaking it for food, the iguana began nudging and inspecting the ball with great interest. After a few moments of puzzlement, it realized the ball wasn't in fact edible and casually sauntered off the green, leaving spectators and commentators in a fit of laughter. Number 2. Bryson DeChambeau versus the Gallery Rope, 2002 Live Golf Chicago, Rich Harvest Farms. On September 18, 2022, at Rich Harvest Farms in Illinois, during the Live Golf Chicago event, physics enthusiast and power hitter Bryson DeChambeau learned a painful lesson about a different kind of force, the unyielding tension of a gallery rope. After hitting his shot on the 14th hole, DeChambeau hurriedly attempted to duck under a gallery rope that separated the playing area from the spectators. Unfortunately, his calculation of the required clearance was off by several crucial inches. The rope caught him squarely across the face, sending his cap flying and causing him to stagger backward in surprise and pain. What elevated this moment from merely painful to genuinely hilarious was DeChambeau's reaction. After the initial shock, he immediately started laughing at himself, holding his face while good-naturedly acknowledging his miscalculation. Despite the unexpected obstacle, DeChambeau managed to compose himself and continue his round, ultimately finishing tied for 10th in the tournament. On January 30, 1999, at the Phoenix Open in Scottsdale, Arizona, Tiger Woods found himself in a situation